Hiya, superstars. It's Danny with a Words Are Matter. I know it's been a minute. It's because I'm doing so much back-end expansion and cohesion and awesomeness. Before we get into today's Words Are Matter, I'm reminding you to join me on Locals, where we don't have to worry about the thought police or the censorship Gestapo, and it's where we get to engage freely as a community. You guys have access to me, Q&As, live streams, all sorts of bonus content. So dannykatz.locals.com, find me there. Now, today's Words Are Matter. I have been, for a while now, feeling overwhelmed and like I have too many things on my plate and, wondering why it is that I'm doing so many things. And I heard myself saying last week, for like the 5 bajillionth time, I do too many things. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I finally heard myself. No wonder I'm feeling overwhelmed and like I'm juggling too many things when I'm constantly programming myself with the allegation that I'm doing too many things. The reality is that I'm a 5/1 manifesting generator. I'm super capable, and it's appropriate for me to be doing all the things that I'm doing. And with that type of programming coming into my own mind through my own languaging habits, no wonder I was feeling overwhelmed. So a couple things. One is just noticing how much more spaciousness I feel in having switched it up to I'm doing just the right amount of things for me, right? And taking that judgment off. So that's another piece, is the judgment of too many things. There's no empirical, objective, too many definition, right? It's going to be different for everyone. And when I decide to give my power away and to victimize myself to all of my projects and all of the things that I love creating and sharing with the world, then of course I'm going to feel burdened and stressed out and like there's a scarcity of time. And scarcity is the second piece of programming here. When I say I'm doing too many things, it is implied that I don't have enough time, enough resources, enough bandwidth to properly execute all the things that I'm doing. So what I'm doing when I'm saying I'm doing too many things is programming my own field with the frequencies of scarcity. I am attuning myself to those frequency bands of scarcity in the quantum field, and thus directing the forces of reality creation to configure my reality to express as though I don't have enough time, I don't have enough resources, I don't have enough support, and I don't have enough bandwidth, which is all completely false. And so this simple switch from I do too many things to I am doing just the right amount of things for me has created so much more spaciousness. Now, the last piece, and we're going to go to the abstract here, and this is something that I speak more about in depth in my Word Up, How to Empower Yourself and the World with Your Every Word webinar, which is available for digital download now, is that the idea of linear time, the idea of scarcity of time, is a program that has been foisted upon us by the social engineers to enslave and disempower us. And it's not true, because time is multidimensional and omnidirectional and simultaneous now. And I am, and you are, and we are quantum reality creators, which means that we have the ability to expand and stretch and mold time however we choose. So this notion of having too many things to do in a quantitative fashion is an old paradigm, third dimensional construct / fiction that we are evolving out of. And the reality is, when it comes to how we organize time, that it's not quantity, it's alchemy, right? So it's not, I have 6 things on my to-do lists, and so if I add a 7th thing, that's going to be too much and I'll have maxed out. No, what if that 7th thing, from an alchemical standpoint, is the just right thing that allows all those other 6 things on my list and me and, time and all the resources I have to click in to an optimal configuration that actually expands time and allows me to be more productive. So this is a concept that I am inviting you and me and all of us to really start to fill into in terms of how we're arranging our productivity lists and all the things that we're juggling, is that it's about alchemy and not the amount. And sometimes adding things, even though it's counterintuitive, will optimize that alchemy and open up these windows and portals of time that wouldn't have otherwise existed if we didn't follow our intuition and defy this sort of counterintuitive logical indoctrination around time, and allow us to be infinitely more effective, allow us to get more done, allow us to really start to work with time in a completely different way than we have been indoctrinated to work with time. So this is really an expansive new earth time concept that relies on our connection and our willingness to listen to our intuition, right? Because sometimes things just don't make sense to add in, like me deciding to start an audio podcast on top of everything that I'm doing, which is what I'm doing now. And my gut has been telling me, do this. This is the right thing. This is going to make everything easier and lighter, even though it doesn't make sense from a third dimensional perspective. So the invitation is for you to start listening to your intuition and checking in, not with the logical mind that's like, I'm doing too many things. No, it's like check in with your deeper, more expansive, more intelligent, intuitive knowingness to feel if you're getting a full body yes, and trusting that sometimes adding more actually creates more time and frees us up in ways that defy third dimensional logic. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for remembering that every word matters, that you are omniscopic amazingness. Have a rockin' day. Mwah.